Yep, missing bottle of alcohol. God damn. Oh, I also forgot about this part. That mom that's been living with them, surrounded by guns, is also an unlicensed cannabis farm, which is kind of wild. I didn't know that. I think it's resub Steezy and Bubble. Yeah, I saw that, Bubble. Thanks for Prime, Andrew. Resub Hashbot. Flash is a real character. It is just some dude who hates the Flash. So he just does everything to make the Flash's life worse. But sometimes it's really petty. No way. Yeah, it's real. Here, reverse Flash. You've probably seen him in that viral clip where it's the, it's me, Barry. You remember when you prematurely ejaculated in front of whatever her name is? I'll just pull up the clip. This is the one that gets floated around all the time.
Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend, and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch!
Like, that's the one that floats around all the time. It's a real character, though. Granted, I don't think DC's brave enough to have a supersonic meat jerker in official lore, but he does just do everything to make the Flash's life a little worse. In the CW show, he fakes being in a wheelchair to fuck with Barry. How does that even fuck with Barry? So every time Barry sees him, he's just in a wheelchair? How does that make Barry's life worse? Yeah, I guess unless Barry just really hates people confined to wheelchairs, I suppose. So just like roll in front of him and maniacally laugh knowing that Barry's uncomfortable. He pretends to be a caring mentor. See, like, that's super lame. In fact, I don't care, Barry, and I'm not teaching you good things. Haha. He's such a goofy character. Thanks to the bits, boss. Why does Reverse Flash... So why does Reverse Flash hate the Flash? I don't remember. Top 10 worst things Reverse Flash has done. I have to know.
Learning that you're intended to become your idol's greatest rival and a psychotic mass killer isn't really the best day in the office. However, it happened to Eobard Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash.
I know he actually
and
does
resulted
kill a
in
lot of
plenty
people.
Chaos. But what are some of the
So this might be a
worst things
serious
that
top
Eobard Thawne
10.
has ever done over his various and seemingly infinite incarnations? That's what we're exploring today. So, in the wise words of an old Italian man,
Hey, Aaron.
let's go. Into 10, boyfriend killer. After his research on the Speed Force while at residency in the Flash Museum had gained some traction, Eobard fell in love with a reporter named Rose who had been hired by Central City Science Today to interview him. However,
God, he
learned
looks
that
like such
she
a
was
dweeb.
engaged. So his future self interfered with the timeline, killing Rose's fiance in an attempt to get her to love him, but it didn't work. So he proceeded to
What?
kill every man she had started seeing after her fiance, and eventually every man who she had ever dated at all. So,
How does that-
Thon's romantic advances, eventually retaliating physically when he attempted to kiss her. In anger, his future self traumatized the reporter as a child, rendering her mute and causing her to be institutionalized for the rest of her life. Although, if she was still friends with the Eobard, while knowing full well that...
Who writes this? This actually feels like something I would have read as a child on DeviantArt. So his crush never loved him. So his future self killed her boyfriend. She still didn't love him. So he killed every man on Earth until it was just the two of them. And she still didn't love him. So then his future self traumatized her as a child, rendering her mute and institutionalized. And now they're married. This is incredible. What great lore. Yeah, this is only number 10 too.
He was just in love with her. She only had him around for attention at that point. Any good person wouldn't be friends with someone who was in love with them if they didn't feel the same. Just saying. I'm causing a few of you to rethink your relationships, huh? In at 9.
I mean, if that's what a healthy relationship
this
sounds
doesn't sound
like.
like a lot, but trust me. Not even Batman was safe from this devil. During the events of the Flashpoint comic arc, Barry brought back to Batman a letter from his father, who is alive in the Flashpoint timeline as Batman. It's the only contact that Batman has had with his parents ever since they died.
Oh no.
So it would be a shame if something were to happen to it. Oh wait, that's right. Thawne decides to rip it to shreds so that it couldn't even be reassembled. It also didn't help that
I mean, it's only he only wrote 2 sentences. Like at that point, just knowing that his dad wrote him something is probably good enough. I mean, I don't think this one's too bad. Let me read the dialogue. Is this what you did after you killed me? Before you died with your world? Wow, that's aggressive. A message sent across time, a letter to your dead son. I'm not the hero of this story. Was it consoling Thomas? Oh, was it consoling Thomas, knowing he would have it? That though he lost you, he could always see you loved him. Did that make you feel better, Thomas? As you burned. I mean, okay. Hey, I don't think this one's that big of a deal.
Decides to rip it to shreds so that it couldn't even be reassembled. It also didn't help that Thomas was the reason that Thawne was killed in that timeline, so yeah, this was certainly a way to get back at Thomas, even though he was dead in this timeline, which was probably the best way to get revenge. But like, this was still super unnecessary.
I'm just gonna kind of blast through it.
The reason that Flashpoint is a thing. I mean, if Thawne had never killed Barry's mother, Barry would never have had to go back to save her, resulting in the Flashpoint timeline. Depending on what version of time travel, or I guess what theory of time travel you believe. Either there was an original timeline where Barry's mother didn't die, but he still became
he killed
the Flash,
Barry's mom.
or did a whole other thing. After being stranded in our present after killing Barry's mother due to a lack of speed, Thawne decides that the only way to get back...
Pardon? After killing Barry's mother due to a lack of speed. So she died of being slow? What does that mean? She couldn't run a 4-second 40, thus she died. You're too slow to exist in this timeline, Mom. You're cringe. Man, I kind of want to start reading Reverse Flash comics. This shit sounds amazing. Oh, you got trapped due to a lack of speed. Ah. Okay, so he was too slow to make it back to her. So she died because her son isn't fast enough. Gotcha. Alright, I thought it was the mom who wasn't, like, up to snuff with the track team. There's the resub Retro, Joestar, Maddie, Easy, Tool, Coach, and Juan.
back to his time was to get the Flash's help. So he kills Harrison Wells, takes over his identity, wears his face, and creates the particle accelerator early. 6 years early to be exact, since originally the accelerator explodes in 2020, thus creating a whole new timeline of events, similar to what Nora does when she helps Barry destroy the Thinker satellite in the season 4 finale, advancing time by 5 years. This time Thawne advanced it by 6 years, using the face of another man to train Barry, gain his
Oh,
trust,
this was
then
the fake
ultimately
mentor
use
thing
him
you
to get back
mentioned.
to his own time.
Not
In the
impressed.
Arrowverse, we get our world and a wedding of Iris West and Barry Allen interrupted by a group of fascist soldiers from an alternate reality known as Earth X. The classic Germany wins World War II scenario. However, these soldiers are accompanied by evil versions of Green Arrow and Supergirl. The evil version of Flash.
They didn't even change Supergirl's costume. The evil version of Supergirl is the same Supergirl, but I guess just with shady morals now. They couldn't even give her a cool evil costume.
Green Arrow and Supergirl. The evil version of Flash is missing, however he doesn't
They did?
appear in
Oh,
the
that wasn't
Ray
a
animated
picture of her?
series,
Okay.
which this crossover also technically has a crossover with, but they're just brought into real life. Same, kind of like how they did with the Vixen crossover. But the evil version of the Flash in this crossover, oh, you bet your ass it's Thawne. Wearing Wells' face, no less. Presumably having killed the Barry of Earth X, Thawne helps Overgirl and Dark Arrow lead a group of
Okay,
fascist soldiers
that's
on
better.
the attack, nearly taking control of Earth 1, if not for the Justice League that hadn't officially been formed yet. Even the Joker turned on Red Skull when he learned that he was actually a fascist and not some kook in a costume. Reverse Flash is worse than Joker. Confirmed. Halfway through in a number
Well, I
5,
don't know about
framed
that,
Barry's
but I
father.
don't know enough.
In the process of killing Barry's mother out of anger since he couldn't manage to kill Barry, Thawne ended up framing his father for the murder and gets him sent to prison. Obviously, this wasn't really avoidable because of how time
Right.
works or whatever, but this still causes Barry a great deal of pain.
I
that was
would
the-
imagine.
To be highly intelligent and to have a particular appearance. However, as he grew up, they became concerned
What
about his
in
life.
the fuck kind of art is this? My name was Eobard Thawne. I was an only child. Bro, this family, it's like the Jetsons. Wow. I mean, I would have guessed this is a villain already, this whole family.
Lack of social skills and tendency to daydream, which was frowned upon in their very regimented society. Hoping that caring for a sibling would help Eobard adjust, his
They're from the
parents had a
future?
second son.
Man, even if they are from the future, what happens in the future? Everyone gets hit by an ugly beam? Like, what is going on here? Like, everyone's like their face is elongated and wrinkled, and it's weird.
Concerned about his lack of social skills and tendency to daydream, which was frowned upon in their very regimented society. Hoping that caring for a sibling would help Eobard adjust, his parents had a second son, Robert. Eobard struggled to manage his little brother and chaffed when reprimanded by their parents for his periodic outbursts that were triggered by his frustration. But later down the line, he applied to the Flash Museum to study the Speed Force, but it was rejected. So he started researching it illegally. But then he was caught by Robert, who was an officer in the Science Police. This caused Eobard a great deal of pain, which is understandable.
Oh, I have to look them up. The Science Police? That's pretty cool. God damn it. Science Police. Our law enforcement task force. Like, what do they tackle that the normal authorities won't? I see you didn't factor in the baseline variables here. You're going to jail. What do they do? Thanks to the resub, Six Path, Scorp, Jace, Steel, Danny, Jinx, and Joestar. Stop people from researching dangerous shit? I guess, but would that not fall under the jurisdiction of the normal police? If they're like researching weapons or something? arrest flat earthers. Ah, so anyone they arrest anyone who has conspiracy beliefs. All right, I can get behind that, I guess.
Well, given that your brother's altering reality. It is mentioned in Judeo-Christian religions, and it was an ordinary spear before Roman soldier Longinus used it to pierce the side of Jesus Christ after he died on the cross, resulting in its immense supernatural powers. The second season of the...
You telling me Jesus Christ is in DC Comics? Alright, excuse me, I need to look up, what kind of powers did he have? Jesus of Nazareth, New Earth. He was one of Charles Xavier's mutants. Oh wait, that's Marvel. Whatever. Oh, he looks so sad. The resurrection of Christ is disproven by science. What a cool story arc. Wubba lubba dub dub. Wow, I mean, they really bring a lot into the fold here. But then, I mean, he is public domain, so they have every right to. Wow. Very interesting lore. Exit resub, feel good, balls, Darth, Mars, and the Prime, absolutely. Look at his powers. Healing, molecular reconstruction, resurrection, weather manipulation, and exorcism. I feel like there's so few instances in comic books where an exorcism is a helpful power. Like, it's such a tedious process. Who else has the power of exorcisms in the DC universe? Oh, Constantine makes sense. You're telling me oh, wait, these are trending pages. I was going to say, there's no way Superman's performing exorcisms. Oh, actually, no, wait, these are characters that perform exorcisms. Planned called the Second Coming series before it was canceled. The plot for it would have been Jesus sent on a most holy mission by God to learn what it takes to be a true Messiah. Well, it's not too late. I'm back. Thanks for resub. Donut, Bloody, in the Prime. Scuda, GRN, and Pepe. Resub Gamer.
Hunter were also among the members, but the main unholy trinity were these three. They did end
But what
up
does the
managing
Spear
to
of
rewrite
Jesus
reality. And in this reality, Eobard Thawne made himself mayor of Central City and the owner of Star Labs. Also in the present time, not 2040 or 2140 or whenever he was born, which is weird. But still wanting status and fame,
Thanks
he
for
would use
sub
his
Harry and
genius to which he gained
Bits
various
Fedora, not
awards
tonight.
and influence over the world. He also had the demonic speedster that was chasing him, Black Flash, as his personal pet. 3, 2, 1. It's revealed that Eobard Thawne, who looks like Wells again, but is using his real name, creates his own version of Flashpoint, where thanks to the new negative still 20 years ago, or I guess Will set out to do. I don't know, time travel is weird, man. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm a little confused. Why did he keep targeting his mom? Like, how does Barry fight him off as a kid? Oh, because he wants Barry to suffer. Right, I keep forgetting it. Like, his main motivation is just to make his life miserable. True. So it'd be Flash.
What? Wrestling Lanes is laying close.
Started to become like him, only to realize his destiny is meant to be his greatest enemy. So that really ruined his life and made him hate the Flash. To me, that sounds like he doesn't really have a reason to hate the Flash as much as he does.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Thanks to Tier 1 Caleb, Tier 1 Zay, and the resub Kinra. Yeah, this character's so wild. He's so fucking dumb. Well, I guess I can't say like every version of the character's dumb, but my god, this is wild. The psychotic life of Reverse Flash. What explains it? Is it the psychotic life of Reverse Flash? Okay. The second one? What? Things at Prime Flapjack. The short. Why? Why would I do that?
DC universe. He's so psychotic, he's so crazy, and his entire purpose is
True.
to just mess with Barry Allen. The Flash, one of my favorite suits, wanted to reinvent the Reverse Flash to be someone significant within the Flash's life, to be his Joker, per se. And it was at that moment that we got the Reverse Flash that many of you things. Classic storyline titled The
Okay, here we
Return
go.
of Barry Allen. Thawne becomes Barry Allen, in a sense. You see, in his original origin, Barry Allen went to the future where he found Eobard Thawne using an old Flash costume.
Impulsive. Like, this guy looks like inbred. Every
Barry Allen destroyed becomes Barry Allen, in a sense. You see in his and in cartoon movies and in the video games, the psychistic and psychotic things. Classic storyline titled The
Okay, here we
Return
go.
of Barry Allen. Thawne becomes Barry Allen, in a sense. You see, in his original origin, Barry Allen went to the future where he found Eobard Thawne using an old Flash costume to commit his crimes. Barry,
like inbred. Every single goddamn panel I've seen of this guy makes him look truly abhorrent. Maybe that's why he's just mad.
to commit his crimes. Barry Allen back at Barry Allen by going and taking his wife away from him. When she turned him down, he killed her. Barry then found a second love, Fiona Webb,
Wow.
and Thawne threatened to kill her as well on their wedding day. So Barry Allen was forced to kill him. He basically drove Barry Allen into murdering him. This led down a long path that would involve Barry Allen running into the future to live there with Iris until he was needed.
This is so old school comic. Get up, you can't be dead. Can't help but appreciate it.
Until he was in the crisis of Infinite Earths. But this isn't even close to their messed up history together, because he break in his mind and he was convinced that own time.
Really strong reasoning to hate him that much. Like, I don't see the real drive. Like, yeah, it's frustrating. Like, damn.
Significant Black Flash,
wet.
because he has now discovered
Potato.
that his powers are derived from the negative Speed Force. You see, Eobard Thawne basically created a negative version of Barry. He tries to murder Wally West's kids in front of their mother, Linda Park. The only thing that saves them is Jay and Bart Allen. But he then quickly defeats Jay, and he threatens to kill Bart. He is, of course, stopped, and he proceeds to
These
inform
hero
Barry
names
that
are
everything
wild.
that has
How
ever
did we
gone
get
wrong
here?
in Barry's life is because of Thawne. Even when he would, fall everything that he has done is sealing his neck. He
Lonely.
comes back as a zombie Black Lantern in The Blackest Night. He battles against Barry Allen in The Blackest Night and eventually runs off to find himself in the modern day, the one that Barry Allen just stopped. The dead version finds the living version, and that's where he stopped in his tracks, and the rogues end up defeating him. The White Lantern appears, reviving the zombie Thawne, making him alive again, and it is then
Oh my
that
God.
Thawne supposedly runs back in time, setting everything in motion where he'll eventually come. It took all of his parents' attention. He erased his brother from history, making himself an only child and the star of his family. And this prevented his brother from becoming a cop and stopping him from messing with the Speed Force. He finds a potential love interest, but she doesn't love him back.
Yeah, we
So
learned
he then
about this
uses
one.
his speed to go back to her childhood and trauma.
Holy shit. I haven't really kept up with comics much, but my Jesus. Fucking 50 different timelines and 400 different alternate universes. My lord. Is that fun to keep up with? That just seems like a headache. And it feels like there's never anything that's super accurate. Canon timeline. They can have all the spin-offs elsewhere, but I really think they need to stick with one like actual canon timeline. Like condense all of the ideas, take what worked, what didn't work from all of the other ones, and make like an actual single line to follow. I just feel like that'd be much, much better. Maybe they do. I don't know. But it seems like all of chat said that this is how they go. Thanks to resub Kalua, Spark. They've done that several times, but it always gets rebooted. Then it's completely worthless. Have you watched the new... No, I haven't watched the new Better Call Saul episode yet. Like fun, goofy. The tier 1 JoJo. Instead of killing half.
What?
Bro, all of these fucking things just sound like stupid ideas my friends and I would... Are we back to number 1 in Rocket League Fan Clash? Because we were behind today. There's a comic where Alfred pretends to be the Joker.
What?
Cute. That's fucking... Oh yeah, did the Chris Chan trials finally start? Thanks to resub Tokyo. It did? Nice.
Oh, I already wrote this.
Oh, that's kind of fucked up though, Hydra. That's hype. There's a comic series where Bruce Wayne died as a kid and his dad becomes Batman and his mom is the Joker. I don't know about the mom being the Joker part, but Bat Dad is fucking hype. That guy just murders people. Yeah, no, Bat Dad. That's the Flashpoint Batman? Oh, is it? Nice. Bat Dad uses 2 guns. Yeah. Thanks to resub Cody.
Okay, I'm not taking notes on this. It's common sense.
There's a comic where Thanos messes with one dude's life every birthday, takes the batteries out of all of his controllers. Just makes it a little bit of a headache. Nothing too extreme. There's a character called Bruno Excelente that's a sex offender. And that's it. Oh, is he... Yeah, I'll look him up. Is it DC? Bueno. This is real? I mean, this would probably be my least favorite member of the team. I don't know a whole lot about sexual assault.
What?
And he's part of the... What a character. He only ever spoke the words bueno and excellent. It is implied that Kyle Rayner and the bits carp and correlate. I don't know if I'll moist meter pray or not, but it was good. There's a Batman comic where Batman abuses his newly adopted son because he misinterprets what his PC says. Thinks it says son, but instead it was sun, S-U-N. Man, what in tarnation? Starts to blend together. Andrew talked about it in his comic book clickbait. Oh, in the video? That one's so underwhelming compared to all the other ones I've just learned about. That was Superman, not Batman. Oh. Had the convicted sex offender whose ability is intimidation and sexual assault. So this is a team of superstars. He has a strong compulsion to weld dogs to people's faces. Wow. Damn, and to think he also retired in 2000. Thanks to resub this dude in the prime Johnny. Powered hero or villain, I don't remember which one.
I'll be right back.
He used to have real life. Second dog welder was similar to the first one. Dog welder. His wife and family wanted to help him. However, he was too compelled to weld dogs to people and welded the family dog to his children. This guy's a menace. As a result, his wife divorced him and remarried a year later. Let's go. Dog welder secretly watches his family. I can fix him, I guess. He watches his family from afar, shows a desire to speak with them, but decides to leave instead. While in Gotham, he encounters Constantine, who reveals to Dog Welder that he can communicate vocally by using dead dogs as puppets. He then notices a green cloud coming from the direct Dog Welder. Later, Dog Welder attempts to reconcile with his family. However, his children are still very traumatized. This guy's a menace. As a result, his wife divorced him. He visits his family from afar, shows a desire to speak with him, but decides to leave instead. While in Gotham, he encounters Constantine, reveals to Dog Welder that he can communicate violently. However, his children are still very traumatized by their last encounter with him. His ex-wife, seeking to defend her kids, threatens him with a knife and welding equipment. While they are attacked by mummies, Dog Welder lights his torch and is immediately transported to the Dog Welder. Here he encounters the previous Dog Welder and learns their origin. The power of the Dog Welders is derived from a curse created by Anubis. After their up to no good, I've said it since I was a kid, they are expanding. When they touch, they will explode and destroy Earth. Dog Welder has an epiphany that he is meant to weld the stars together. As Sirius is the dog star. Are these written like are these supposed to be? I don't know. I'm getting mixed reviews. It's supposed to be Sirius. It's obviously not very serious. See, like that's what most people are saying Sirius. It's obviously not very serious. See, like that's what I would normally say, but reverse saying serious. It's obviously not very, but reverse flash is so. It's obviously not very serious. See, like that's what I would normally say, but Reverse Flash is supposed to be like a serious villain, and some of his crimes, while some are hanging on the stairs when he
I'm
was
gonna
a kid
sleep now.
once. And that's like a serious villain. Like that's one of their like big villains.
I don't know. I should. I'll stay up a little longer.
Alright. Constantine reveals that Dog Welder has a lot of untapped power. As a result, he may be able to fix Sirius. Section 8 then knock out some NASA astronauts, steal their suits, and hijack a space shuttle. When they arrive in the Sirius star system, Dog Welder leaves the ship and harnesses the power of all previous Dog Welders. He's able to weld Sirius, though he was content as this would prevent the curse from afflicting other people. Section 8 returned to Noonan's, where they all mourn the loss of Dog Welder, whose world-saving sacrifice will never be known to the public. Fuck me. I'm a Dog Welder fan. Alright, I need to see these like comic panels. Damn, he is not very popular. This is a whole video on the Section 8, the one with Bueno Excelente, the sex offender. Sydney. Okay, so this is definitely a joke series. Like, in earnest. Thanks to Tier 1 Odin, Tier 1 Boomer Mom, and the 2 gift subs Churai and the Bits Funk. Okay, this still sounds fucking hype. They should bring these guys into the fold. His abilities are high tolerance for alcohol. Okay. He carries around a window and smashes it over his enemies' heads. Alright. I fuck with it. Flim Jim? Oh my god, this guy actually just spits. Holy shit. I just tried to think of the most useless power and I fucking nailed it. Wow. Wow. Well, I feel real good right now. I was a little off though. I thought he would just spit on people and it tastes bad, but it looks like his is kind of like acidic. He accidentally shot off his own head while also fatally injuring the defenestrator. So he has energy projection but can't aim. Jean de Baton Baton. Alright, pretty cool. Alright. Well, I'd say the Section 8 squad is probably up there with the Justice League. They've got all the heavy hitters here. I'm guessing they didn't perform super well, considering their run only lasted like 20 issues. But I think we're overdue for the reboot. Exit Tier 1 Lev in the Prime. Ziand. This was created by the guy that made... Holy shit. Yeah, he's the guy that made The Boys. Wow, okay. I don't know why they don't credit The Boys here. I'm guessing this is just DC-related properties because we're on the DC fandom. But yeah, Garth made The Boys. Also, The Boys is a fucking terrible comic. Also, The Boys is a fucking terrible comic. Just DC-related properties because we're on the DC fandom. But yeah, Garth made The Boys. Also, The Boys is a fucking terrible comic. Like, it's not a very good comic, but it's a great premise. The show did such a great job adapting it. Yeah, it's just shock for the sake of shock in a lot of places. Thanks for resub Lewis and Pay Daddy. Wow, I think there might actually be a real chance that I think it could slap. They'd have to tone down Bueno Excelente, I think, though. I don't think having a sympathetic sexual assaulter... Bueno Excelente is the soul of the team. Yeah, true. He's really... I mean, at the end of the day, it's only him and Six-Pack that survived the mini-angled ones, whatever that means. So the world is left with just the alcoholic and the guy who rapes people. So he is one of the stronger members. But Dog that saves the world. By the way, apparently James Gunn actually considered Dog Welder for the Suicide Squad, and there was even a fan petition to include him. They should have. He could have just been one of those people that die, like, immediately on the beach. Thanks to the resub Soren and the bits voice crack bits Drew. Spoiler, I guess. I mean, the movie's like 3 years old now. I figured most people would have watched it by now. Six-Pack fixed his life after going... I just don't really like a lot of comics. I just think that there's a lot of things they get wrong. Wrong, what do you mean? In terms of, like, enjoyment, I don't know. I guess the last comic I really sat down and tried to read... What was it? I tried to read a little of The Boys, but I guess that's a bad example because it is just, like, actually a bad series. Like, not the newest Spider-Man series, but the one before it. I don't... And then I tried to read some of the Batman Who Laughs because I like the concept. Might have been Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't remember now. Yeah, I hear a lot of great things about Invincible. I haven't read it, though. But basically what we, like... I just think a lot of comics just aren't super fun to read. Which is why for Godslap we've been focusing on making it so even if you hate reading, you'll at least enjoy Godslap. Or at least that's the goal. When's Godslap 2? End of September. We have another big piece of content being made around issue 2, so we're just waiting for that to be done. And once that's done, we'll put issue 2 up. Because issue 2 is done. We're just waiting on like a fun video that we've commissioned.
Man, these carrot chips are getting pretty bland. Alright.